And I've always liked LeBron, but him being a bully, it turned me off, Dan. Going on Pat's show just bullying people. Because, LeBron, he's a control freak. He knows everything he's doing.
LeBron James is facing intense criticism from Charles Barkley, and this time, the comments felt far more personal than anything we've heard before. Over the years, Barkley has never shied away from challenging LeBron. Fans have heard his opinions in the GOAT debate, watched him consistently defend Michael Jordan's legacy, and listened to countless critiques of LeBron's career decisions. But his latest remarks on national television took the conversation to another level. Barkley labeled LeBron a bully. He described him as someone who constantly wants control. And after spending years praising LeBron's greatness on the court, Barkley suggested that his view of LeBron as a person has changed dramatically. What makes this even more interesting is that Barkley isn't the only NBA legend speaking out. Scottie Pippen has also entered the discussion with criticism of his own. More and more former stars seem willing to voice their frustrations, and they're doing it without holding back. So, what exactly did Barkley say that has everyone talking? Why does LeBron suddenly find himself under fire from multiple Hall of Famers? Is there real substance behind these complaints, or is this simply another example of former players struggling to embrace the modern era of basketball greatness? To understand the situation, we have to go back to March 2025. That was when LeBron James made a move that surprised many observers around the league. During an appearance on the Pat McAfee show, he openly criticized members of the media. And he wasn't targeting just anyone. LeBron took aim at Stephen A. Smith, one of the most recognizable figures in sports broadcasting. He also directed criticism toward Brian Windhorst, a journalist who has been covering LeBron's journey since his high school days.
Like I seen Brian Windhorst on one of these shows not too long ago. Says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird.
Windhorst is someone who has followed LeBron's career from the very beginning and has often been viewed as one of his strongest supporters in the media. As the situation played out, Charles Barkley watched it closely. Not long afterward, he joined Dan Patrick for an interview and delivered one of the sharpest critiques of LeBron that fans have heard in a long time. There was no attempt to soften the message. There was no careful wording or political approach. Barkley spoke openly and directly, giving his unfiltered opinion on the entire situation and making it clear exactly where he stood.
They both had an awful week. LeBron, he's too big to be that type of bully. To bully Stephen A. and to bully Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst is a sweet person, man. He's just trying to do his thing. And I've always liked LeBron, but him being a bully, it turned me off, Dan.
Take a moment to consider the significance of that statement. Charles Barkley has spent years acknowledging LeBron's greatness. He has praised his ability, defended him in countless discussions, and consistently recognized what he has accomplished on the court. Yet here he was on national television describing LeBron as a bully. According to Barkley, the situation left a negative impression on him. And that goes far beyond breaking down someone's game or debating their place in basketball history. This was not about points, championships, or accolades. It was Barkley expressing that his perception of LeBron as a person may have shifted. In his view, something about the recent events changed the way he looks at him off the court. And that was only the beginning. Barkley continued sharing his thoughts, and the comments that followed were even more pointed, taking the criticism to an entirely new level.
And Stephen A. is a good dude, man. For him to react, LeBron, like I say, I blame him for starting the bullying, going on Pat's show just bullying people. Because, LeBron, he's a control freak. He knows everything he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows everything he's doing. He knew when he walked up to Stephen A. what he was doing.
Barkley's argument goes beyond a single incident. In his view, LeBron rarely does anything by accident. He believes every major public move is carefully considered and every high-profile confrontation serves a purpose. So when LeBron approached Stephen A. Smith courtside during that Lakers game, Barkley didn't see it as a spontaneous moment. He viewed it as a deliberate message, an attempt to make a statement and assert control over the narrative. and Barkley made it clear that he wasn't impressed by it. What makes this criticism especially noteworthy is that it didn't appear out of nowhere. According to Barkley's longtime commentary, this is simply the newest chapter in a story he has been telling about LeBron for years. When you look back at his previous remarks, a consistent theme begins to emerge. The issue has never been LeBron's talent. It has never been about his statistics, his achievements, or his understanding of the game. Instead, Barkley has often focused on something he considers far more important, what he believes defines LeBron's competitive mindset and overall approach to leadership. That perspective became even clearer during an appearance on the Spittin' Chiclets podcast in May 2023. During that conversation, Barkley explained what he believes separates LeBron from the players he places at the very top of basketball history. And if you ask many fans, the criticism he delivered that day may rank among the harshest evaluations ever directed at LeBron's legacy and competitive character.
First of all, they're three of the greatest players ever. But LeBron's a nice guy. Nobody ever said that shit about Michael and Kobe. Nobody ever said, man, that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, they're nice guys. Nobody ever said that shit. Michael and Kobe, they were dangerous. They'd kill your ass. LeBron's great, but he's a nice guy.
According to Barkley, LeBron is a genuinely nice person. At first glance, that might sound like praise. For most people, being described as nice would be considered a positive quality. But Barkley was looking at it through a very different lens. In the era he often references, the era of relentless competitors like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, being labeled nice can carry a completely different meaning. It suggests a player may lack the intimidating presence, ruthless mentality, or relentless edge that many associate with the most feared competitors in sports history. From Barkley's perspective, the greatest legends possessed a certain intensity that made opponents uncomfortable long before the game even started. They carried an aura that forced rivals to expect the worst every time they stepped onto the court. During that same podcast appearance, Barkley expanded on this idea even further, explaining why he believes that competitive mindset is one of the defining traits that separates certain all-time great players from everyone else.
He had to learn to be competitive because the killer instinct is not something like and Michael was one of my best friends ever. And I got to know Kobe a little bit. They will kill you to win. LeBron, he wants to win. But LeBron at the end of the day is a really nice guy. So you can't learn to be a natural born killer.
Barkley's argument ultimately comes down to one thing. He believes true competitive ruthlessness cannot be taught. In his view, certain players are simply born with a unique mindset, relentless drive, and instinct that separates them from everyone else. Barkley has often pointed to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant as examples of players who possess that quality from day one. According to him, no amount of practice, experience, or championship success can create that mentality if it is not naturally there to begin with. And when it comes to LeBron, Barkley's opinion is clear. He does not believe LeBron possesses that same level of instinctive competitive edge. If these comments were coming from only one person, many fans could easily dismiss them. Some might argue that Barkley simply views the game differently, has a long-standing disagreement with LeBron, or enjoys making provocative statements that spark debate. But the criticism doesn't stop with Barkley. Earlier this year, Scottie Pippen added his voice to the conversation during an appearance on the PBD podcast with Patrick Bet-David. During the interview, Pippen offered his own critical evaluation of LeBron's career and legacy. And that carries weight because of who Pippen is. This is a player who stood alongside Michael Jordan throughout the Chicago Bulls dynasty, winning 6 championships and playing a major role in one of the most dominant runs in NBA history. Having experienced championship basketball at the highest level, Pippen is often viewed as someone who understands exactly what elite success looks like and what it takes to sustain it year after year.
Would you put yourself ahead of LeBron?
As a team standpoint.
Would you put yourself ahead of LeBron as a team standpoint?
My success as a team is more successful than LeBron. I got 6 rings.
6 championships. Scottie Pippen's argument was striking because it came from someone many fans regard as the greatest supporting star in NBA history. Yet despite playing alongside Michael Jordan for his entire championship run, Pippen suggested that his own career accomplishments stack up favorably against LeBron James. When you think about it, that's a bold claim. LeBron's resume is filled with achievements that few players could ever dream of matching. He became the NBA's all-time leading scorer, reached the finals on 10 separate occasions, and built one of the most decorated careers the league has ever seen. But Pippen's point wasn't focused on individual awards or statistical milestones. His argument centered on championships. From his perspective, the ultimate measure of success is winning titles, and in that category, he believes his 6 championship rings give him an advantage over LeBron's 4. When the interviewer challenged that idea, Pippen didn't back away from his position. Instead, he reinforced it and followed up with another comment aimed directly at one of the most debated aspects of LeBron's legacy, pushing the conversation into even more controversial territory.
You want individual accolades or you want championships? Because I didn't chase mine.
I didn't have to go searching for my championships. That statement was widely interpreted as a criticism of the path LeBron took throughout his career. The comment touches on several of the biggest decisions LeBron ever made, from leaving Cleveland to join forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, to returning to the Cavaliers alongside Kyrie Irving, and later heading to Los Angeles, where he partnered with Anthony Davis. Pippen's argument is essentially that LeBron repeatedly placed himself in situations designed to maximize his chances of winning titles. By contrast, Pippen views his own championship success as the result of staying with one organization and competing within the structure that was already in place. Whether fans agree or disagree, the message was clear. And what's important is that these kinds of criticisms did not suddenly appear overnight. Former players and basketball legends have been raising similar questions about LeBron's career choices for years. The debate has gradually grown louder as his career has progressed, with different Hall of Famers expressing many of the same concerns from different angles. One of the most memorable examples came after the 2018 NBA Finals, when the Golden State Warriors completed a sweep of LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers. In the aftermath of that series, Charles Barkley appeared on NBA TV and delivered a take that immediately grabbed attention. The statement was so bold and controversial that basketball fans are still discussing it years later.
LeBron. I'm just going to say this. Any media person that I see in person for the rest of my life who try to tell me LeBron James is good as Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of him right on the spot. Right on the damn spot. No question asked. And I'm going to take my chances with the judicial system.
For Barkley, this wasn't just another controversial opinion thrown out for attention. He presented it as a deeply held belief, and he continued emphasizing the point to make sure there was no confusion about where he stood. What gives Barkley's perspective added weight in the eyes of many fans is his history. He didn't simply watch Michael Jordan from afar. He competed against him. He experienced firsthand the intensity, confidence, and relentless mentality that made Jordan such a feared opponent. Because of that, Barkley believes he has a unique understanding of the traits that separate certain legendary competitors from everyone else. From his perspective, LeBron does not possess that same type of natural edge. Then came the appearance on the Pat McAfee show. When Barkley watched LeBron publicly criticize media figures, he saw it as further evidence supporting an opinion he had held for years. In Barkley's view, LeBron is highly conscious of how he is perceived and places significant importance on shaping the public conversation surrounding his career and legacy. To Barkley, the incident reinforced the belief that LeBron wants influence over the narrative and strongly pushes back whenever he feels that narrative is moving in a direction he dislikes. But the criticism did not end there. During the same interview, Scottie Pippen expanded on his own views regarding the never-ending Michael Jordan versus LeBron James debate. He explained why, in his opinion, the two players should not even be evaluated through the same lens. And the reasoning he offered was arguably one of the strongest and most controversial critiques yet to emerge from a former NBA legend in this ongoing discussion.
When someone like LeBron has to spread that out for 20 plus years, it's not the same drive. It's not the same fight. It's not the same hunger. And so when people try to make those comparisons of those two players, it's like talking to someone in the front seat and the back seat. They ain't even in the same lane.
Charles Barkley or Scottie Pippen any LeBron James par sokt tankid ki hai. Barkley ka kana hai ka LeBron ek control freak hai jo hamesha narrative ko apni mutabik rakna chata hai. Mutabik LeBron main wo natural killer instinct nahi jo Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant ko alag banati ti. Barkley any bi kaha ka kuch qualities siki nahi ja sakti baki paidaishi hodi hain. Unka mana hai ka Jordan or Kobe ka paswo ruthlessness tijo LeBron main nazar nahi adi. Dusri taraf Scottie Pippen any LeBron ka championships ko nishana banaya. Pippen ka kana hai kuas and apni titles kalia teams nahi badly. Jap LeBron any apni career main multiple super teams ka hissa band car championships GD. Pippen ka mutabik Jordan or LeBron ka mukabla bi thik nahi. Kyun ka Jordan any apni greatness ko chot ars main maximum intensity ko soth sabak kia. Akir main salia hai. Kia Barkley or Pippen thik ka trahihain. Kia LeBron waki all-time greats woolly killer mentality se maram hai. Euphoria surf Purani generation ka Nazaria hai jo modern basketball ko Makamel tour parkable nahi kar parahi. Apni Rai comments main zero dine or basketball key maze discussions Kalia channel ko subscribe karna na bolan.